Hello everybody, welcome to Zelda Speedruns, broadcasting the Link to the Past Randomizer Challenge Cup 2023. We got Group U for you today. It's Slowpoke versus treesapthief, Game 2. Commentating first, we have Sorcerer Finch and Zaruvian, and tracking is Lady Loralinda. Say hello everybody.
Hello everybody.
Hello everybody.
Hey guys, back again. Zaruvian here with Finch, and tonight we are playing a little bit of Faux All Dungeons Key Sanity. Finch, what do you want to talk about in regards to how this mode works?
Sure, so for this one, we're going to be doing every single dungeon. That includes Castle Tower and Ganon's Tower. Every dungeon, whether it's a pendant or a crystal, we need to complete all of them, or else Ganon will insult us and not take any damage. It is a little bit easier because there are a couple keys that are going to be locked in their dungeons. Specifically, the small keys for Castle Tower, they're going to be in the 2 chests in Castle Tower. Ganon's Tower Big Key is going to be in Ganon's Tower, so we will still be able to do a Ganon's Tower Big Key guessing game. But aside from that, just clear all the dungeons as quickly as you can. And this one has some pretty big implications as well. Ruby, would you mind kind of talking about that?
Yeah, looking at Group U here in the Challenge Cup standings over on Challenge. Right now we have Magnohato with a 6-0 record, outright sweeping everyone else in the group. These two are one of Slowpoke's last games coming in this final week of the Challenge Cup group stage. Slowpoke currently sitting at 1-3, needs to win this game with treesapthief and win their game with Ridley Dragon to force a tiebreaker race in, where these two would face off again in the week break we have before we start the bracket stage. For treesapthief, this is very simple. Win, and you are in.
Yeah, because this is treesapthief's final race as well. Currently 3-2, so a win would bring them up to 4-2 and outright second place. A loss would drop them to 3-3 and bring Slowpoke up to 2-3, as we do get a hammer right there off of Uncle. I think we might do Friend of Escape here.
I don't see a reason why you wouldn't in this situation. You get a weapon that literally makes the Front of Escape relatively free, and right next door to the Front of Escape. I think you're just going in and ignoring the key logic right now.
Yeah, and you can still do the very front, and you can tackle the back once you get once you get a glove or something like that. Getting a little bit hit by those guards there. Both racers having a little bit of trouble.
You know, I'm a little amused here because that blue guard stopped on the exact same tile for both players and just did not. He's like, oh, I see, he's got a hammer. I'm going to hang back here for a minute.
You know, there is a certain level of AI, I suppose, in this game, to a degree. And the hammer does have a pretty small hitbox as well.
Right, this check right here will be in logic, this map chest here, and it's just $1. The rest of the checks here in Hyrule Castle, the game will expect to have found that sewer key, the Hyrule Castle small key, which, like every other key in tonight's Fat Keys game, is somewhere out here in Hyrule. We just don't know where.
Right, and it may be more of a suggestion, but maps, compasses are also shuffled throughout Hyrule as well as the keys, so every dungeon is going to have a lot more importance, especially those smaller dungeons. Tower of Hera now has a bunch of keys, has a bunch of items. Skull Woods, Misery Mire.
You want to talk like turn a dungeon that you generally don't want to dive into a dungeon that's possibly a treasure trove. You don't really need any keys to finish Mire, but there's 3 small keys placed in Mire in non-keys modes, so those 3 keys are now items that might be progressive. You might need them to advance.
Yep. So, and our racers are going to the back here. We might see Dark Cross here. Kind of depends with just a hammer. Oh, and that key is also locked. That will always be the big key of this dungeon.
I'm going to say, I think it's always a feel of, do you feel like trying to find your way to Dark Cross with only a hammer in the dark? And I see both players say no tonight, so we're going to get our big key to Ice Palace. That's always one that you're happy to see before the inevitable dive into Ice Palace.
Right, and very understandable as well. We don't have any we don't really have a great way to be able to navigate. The snakes will do half a heart each. It would be a very quick death for one item at best.
Right, so we're going to see both players now run up here to see our tier 2 tree pole is just hearts. Actually, treesapthief's not even going to look. He wants to know it's on lumberjack straight up.
Yeah. Meanwhile, and both of our racers will go ahead and get this knowledge. We are going to have to defeat Aghanim.
Oh my god!
Well,
I don't think we're getting gold sword tonight. What do you think, Finch?
You know, it depends on Aga. Now, with that hammer, we are one step closer to Dark World. If it's in the route, I could see I could see our racers actually picking up that sword if it's the difference between Master Sword and Tempered. It's an interesting item, at least up there.
The game's pretty nice and just throws bombs at us in our path before hitting Kakariko. And that's one less thing you have to worry about when you go to hit this big mecha of Czechs down south. Oh, well, there's your Moon Pearl. So now suddenly a glove gets us Dark World access. I've noticed this about a mode like in all dungeons, Key Sanity, just in general. Game loves giving you things to do.
Right. And Slowpoke gonna go ahead and check tree pull again. Still gonna be those hearts. So funnily enough, that tree pull has actually given it is essentially tied up the two racers at this point. Maybe treesapthief with a split second of a head start going into Kakariko Village.
Get to see our first big item location, I guess you could say. Kakariko Village has a ton for us to look at, starting with this Blind's Hideout. Some reading material, if you prefer. A book to... well, that's not on the nose a little bit, is it?
A little bit, but, you know, we already have the hammer, so at least it won't be a check that will be, that we'll have to think about isolating, at least.
Yeah, the last thing you want to have to go back and do in any mode is the Thieves' Town Big Chest. So having the hammer and the small key before you even touch the dungeon is, you don't think about it foremost, but it's a breath of fresh air, trust me.
All right, and meanwhile, let's go ahead and check out what is in Kakariko Well.
Well, it's a wishing well, apparently. A very popular one at that.
Yeah, Hyruleans have been throwing money in there for ages. All right, and there's our bottle. So that's an extra check that we can do in Kakariko Village. It is something that both of our racers have access to at this point, and the 300 rupees will get us a bow, or 100 for that bow. Too bad we can't buy another one and get silvers right off the bat.
Yeah, sorry, he's sold out. He only had the one on sale. That is a nice spot. We didn't see if that bottle's a bee. You actually could have gotten that bow for absolutely nothing if it was a good bee. The other thing we got in that well is powder, and having the hammer, we're going to be able to check that right now.
Yep, it's going to be a little bit more out of the way, but it's something. We are right here. Let's just go ahead and do it.
Oh, Slowpoke's going to remember to buy bombs here. That's a huge idea. Well, and then treesapthief's going to find bomb money, which also helps.
Yep. Ooh, okay. Treesapthief remembering, wait, there's another check I can do.
See if this magic bat has anything for us here.
Actually, I want to say this is the first time I've seen sub 8-minute magic bat.
I mean, it's relatively normal if you get hammer early and powder like in an open seed.
And fortunately, both of our runners did pick up just that little bit of magic, both from Escape from Uncle, and we get a key to Meyer.
Not a bad thing, not at all. One key does make Meyer routing a lot nicer.
Yeah, the Meyer small keys are not not as required as for other dungeons, but they do make things a little bit nicer. And yep, so, and this is where treesapthief is going to have to go back to purchase some bombs. So Slowpoke will get a little bit of a time advantage back. But again, we're not even 9 minutes into this seed. There is so much to play still.
Yeah, we're talking like paces.
Right.
By the time these routes diverge again, like for big time, when we get a glove and one person goes and finds keys to one place and the other person finds keys to somewhere else, we'll talk about how much time anyone has over the other when this has kind of worked its way out. Well, here's one. We're going to see a blind play versus a, it's the other bow. Kakariko bow.
Well, that is going to be a surprise. And treesapthief thinking about it and then opting no.
Probably come back for that later, he's feeling. Oh boy, I don't see where you say no to silvers this early in a seed. That is a decision.
Yeah, that is, okay. Well, for the time being, treesapthief will go ahead and leave those behind. But in the meantime, both of our runners look like they're going to be making the South Shore play. Slowpoke opting to go directly to Mini Moldorm Cave, and there's the Power Glove.
10-minute Dark World access in Fad Keys again. Like this early is almost unprecedented, but it keeps happening.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't gotten many like maps or compasses. I mean, we saw one compass in the library there, and Slowpoke using the bee to great effect.
I love bee strats. It's so good.
And you know, that's the perfect room for it. And there's the small key for desert. All right, another small key for Meyer. And there's the rest of Zora money.
There's
and
your ice rod. Now, interesting to see if Slowpoke goes right or left here. That desert small key actually, it almost makes going into desert worth it this early.
Yep, but this will be that Ice Rod Cave. Slowpoke being a little cautious. Our racers on Green Mail, those crabs will do too harsh damage.
Yeah, you don't think the pinch hurts until suddenly you're bleeding out. Oh, it's so dark, but it's not wrong. Luckily, we do have some things to deal with them. We do have the bow, we have the ice rod, we have the hammer. It's just a matter of staying out of harm's way is the big deal without having a sword. The most ready form of combat not there for the taking here.
Yeah, and Slowpoke doing a great job navigating there. This will likely end Slowpoke's route here.
Disagree. You got a Moon Pearl, you've got Zora money. You're going and doing fake flipper checks here.
I'll say I stand very much corrected.
And, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if we might see our runners attempt to splash delete over the waterfall, too.
We do, right, with the bow and ice rod. You don't get too many shots at it, but meanwhile, treesapthief is going to go ahead and just save and quit and move on to the next place.
And it looks like we're going to start probably going to Hype Cave here, not having any big keys to work with. Makes good sense here.
Slowpoke having a little bit of trouble here with the screen transition. You do need to be right next to... There we go. First try.
First try every time. Actually, it looks like treesapthief wants to go to desert.
Yep, so that was something that you were thinking about. And Slowpoke's going to go ahead and give... Under the Bridge a miss right now, and Slowpoke dodging around because the game really doesn't like it when you aren't supposed to be in the water and you get knocked into the water.
Yeah, the worst thing that could possibly happen here is that's another small key sitting in the desert ledge. So we'll be seeing what that one is in just a moment. Getting hit while in a fake flippering state, the game does not remember where your initial splash happened, so it puts you where you entered the water. Now, it doesn't matter if you're on screen or not. The game has to pretend it's scrolling the map back to where you entered the water. And while this is happening, you can be stuck in a controlless state for quite a moment.
Yep, and meanwhile, let's see.
Oh. All right, we might be trying to pick that up. We'll have to see if Slowpoke makes the attempt.
Yeah, or maybe we just get the flippers here.
The vanilla flippers? You've got to be kidding me.
There's a small key, by the way, to Skull Woods in Desert.
And again, having one of those is good also, because you want to be able to... Ooh, that might be important, that Quake Medallion. Don't pick it up. You don't need another bottle. Oh, okay, fine. We are not going to figure out about that Splash Delete, because we're just going to save and quit.
Yeah, I mean, working out of logic, and you don't have a whole lot of magic and not a whole lot of opportunities to get magic back. This is going to be an Eastern play, it looks like, for Slowpoke.
Could be Eastern, could just be running to Sahasrara to ask what the green pendant is.
Yep, that is true. And maps, and we haven't seen a map check yet, and we probably won't for a while because we haven't actually picked up any maps, or I think they might be just Dark World maps at this point.
Even if you have, you know you need to do everything anyway, so the only things that you really need to know are your prizes. Like this, the green pendant is Thieves Town.
All right. You know, that's not the worst. Thieves Town is an early one. It is going to be 6 items, 7 items, 8 items. It's going to be a lot of items. It's a lot of checks.
It's going to be items. There are 8 items in Thieves Town in this mode.
Yeah, well, yeah, I was just trying to count. I was like, hold on, there's the 4 in the regular, plus map compass, plus, oh, right, the keys.
So that's our first pod key. There's going to be 6 of those hiding out there somewhere, and pod is one of those dungeons where it might be important to watch how many keys you are, because the game could very well be screaming, hey, I got something for you in pod, you better go!
Meanwhile, we are going to get a dip of Eastern over on Slowpoke's side, but Treesapthief is going to go ahead and give us Agina's.
A little out of the way. We have bottle no already. We already have all 4 bottles between our 2 runners. It's only 16 minutes in! Well, that's a pretty safe seed, I guess.
And, you know, it's one thing... You know, we're still a little... I mean, we're still at 6 hearts. We can do a lot of Dark World at this point. We still have an extensive shopping list at this point. With that Quake Medallion on Desert. And there, even if we don't end up needing that, we still may need boots for Ganon's Tower. Possibly.
There's always that lingering 1 in 22 chance that even if the boots aren't necessary for anything else, that big key on the torch could be to GT.
Yep, and meanwhile, let's see how Hype Cave is today. We do get a map of Hyrule Castle. That's unfortunately one of the least useful ones, but we do get... All right, well, there's Flute and Ether and the Hyrule Castle Small.
Ah, good. We put the absolutely nothing that we got in the front of Escape into Logic. Cool. You know, speaking of, we didn't see either of these guys go to the back of Escape with that glove, have we?
Not yet. Not yet. Slowpoke not able to stop most of those Stalfos from spawning. And there is sword number 1.
5-6 blocking the pyramid crack today are Skull Woods and Turtle Rock.
All right. So... With Turtle Rock being one of the later dungeons and requiring so many items, there's probably not going to be a whole lot that's going to be blocked by the Pyramid Fairy, except for maybe keys.
Could be keys, could be an item required for a pendant dungeon, we just don't know.
All right, there's another small pod key over on Treesapthief's side. Meanwhile, Slowpoke is making its way through the dark.
We got B strats again. That's kind of cool. You don't see a lot of runners make use of a B, especially in darker rooms. Slowpoke's already done it twice tonight, to great effect.
Right? And to great effect. It absolutely it worked so well in now. There we go. Okay. And unfortunately, that dip didn't really pay off for Slowpoke there in Eastern area.
What are you talking about? We have our first sword.
Okay, you're right. You're right. Absolutely. Never mind. We got that right.
Oh, we're probably going to see Slowpoke now. We got the book out. So this could be a Dam to Desert play? Yeah, that's what it looks like. And I didn't happen to have my eyes on what we got out of Dig Game, but I'm imagining from the lack of fanfare that it wasn't anything important.
It was a compass in 28 digs.
Delightful. Here we go, we're remembering the back of Escape. Proud of you. That's right, Slowpoke hadn't grabbed this glove yet, so now we have Dark World access.
Yep, so about 9-minute difference in Dark World access there between the two runners. But again, there's plenty for our runners to do at this point. Back of Escape having French Vanilla Bloomerang and a GT Small Key. Chat pointing out that someone used an HM on Slowpoke, and Slowpoke learned Strength.
Yeah, but Slowpoke can only learn 4 moves, so what happens when you're trying to learn Fly and Rock Smash?
Right, and we've got Ice Beam.
You don't want to forget Ice Beam. That's a really good move. That's great coverage.
Right, especially since we're going to need Ice Beam. And Flamethrower, apparently, as well.
Just get Fire Blast. No. Dude, a water type using Fire Blast. What is this? Hey, welcome to Pokemon Randomizer. We're going to see this flute activation. If you feel like 07, please do.
Yep, and meanwhile, while Treesapthief activates their flute, Slowpoke grabs their flute. All right, and that duck is the muck, that goose is loose.
We got nowhere to fly. Where are we going? Oh, we're going to pick up the silvers now.
Yep, yeah.
And now that you can flute away from it, it makes sense. I still don't like waiting this long to go pick up something you know is there.
Meanwhile, Slowpoke is going to go ahead and make that same route that Treesapthief had earlier. And the route also makes sense because if in these next 2 checks you happen to get a mirror, or Titan Smiths would be best, but if you also get a mirror, opens up a couple more checks.
Could see a Fire Rod, which you don't, but you could. Honestly, a hook shot or a mirror gives us a ton of the mountain to work with.
True. Something a little bit beyond, and speaking of the mountain, Treesapthief is going to... Yeah, and that is the thing. Treesapthief still does not have a sword.
Now, you can use other things to see in the dark. Like, you can put an arrow on a wall, throw the boomerang, hit the shovel. But if we want to use, like, bombs or arrows, look, we got a kind of minute lack of resources for Treesapthief to be able to do that comfortably right now. I mean, you still have a boomerang, though, so I don't see why you don't rescue the old man here.
Actually, if anything, that is one of the advantages of using that bee. Slowpoke with the full complement of arrows, and Treesapthief...
Or, just find your lamp.
That works, too.
Thank you, game, for giving us free access to saving the old man, locked entirely and only by the flute.
You gotta love logic. Alright, and this will likely be Slowpoke doing back of escape into save and quit, and then go activate that flute.
Yes, but does Slowpoke possibly do Village of Outcasts here?
I think Slowpoke is a little bit more incentivized at this point. Treesapthief opting to wait to get the silvers until then. And keeping in mind, Slowpoke's got a sword, so that is still kind of one of the main item differentiators between the two.
Yeah, that's that sword being in the compass chest over in Eastern Palace, something you might not even think about going to do early on here. We are going to see the Dark reverse to Dark Cross. Again, something else you'd prefer to do with a sword. Of course, finding the key rat in the dark is not exactly the easiest thing in the world to do either. Did we get him? Yes, we did.
There we go.
Now we got to find the door. You ever felt your way around in a dark... Oh my gosh, Finch. Oh, look at this. You think maybe we're fluting to the mire area? No.
I mean, Village of Outcast, there's still a lot to do there. We don't have the mirror, so it's not, you can't check quite everything over there. But, all right, so Mountain having that lamp and Titan's mitts.
I mean, I might have liked going to the mire area to see what medallions needed for mire, get your 2 items out of mire shed, since the game is literally suggesting, hey, come get your free stuff. And then you're able to go to Vu from a flute anyway. Having a little bit of trouble in this dark room trying to find the chest. Well, we're grinding experience right now. I guess we're trying to learn to move by level up here.
Right, and this one is a little bit tougher of a chest to find in the dark, especially with the snakes kind of batting you around, and just for a heart piece. Well, a heart piece and peace of mind.
Yeah, that is one check that you do not have to go out of your way to return to. Oh, where are we going now? Oh, there's the fire rod just sitting in Sea House.
Oh my goodness. And this is gonna, okay, so this is gonna be Slowpoke going over towards desert.
Okay, so the new checks, you probably want to watch Treesapthief, because we're going to see the front of Thieves Town. Oh, we're changing our mind. Okay. Oh, we want to activate our flute. That makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
Could you imagine getting your big key to Thieves Town and Thieves Town being like, well, I guess I get to do Hammer Blind.
There we go. Everything's fine.
Well, luckily, that's not been the case yet.
Yeah, so this does. So yeah, treesapthief has been able to make the be able to check a whole bunch of new items. Does have a little bit of an advantage, but that sword. Small key to Skull Woods. Well, and treesapthief could go to Skull Woods right afterwards and complete it.
Well, yes, but no. You need a sword to cut the vines in the back to get some armor. That's where this gets really interesting. Treesapthief has a pair of mitts. And Slowpoke is about to get his mitts. So now the advantage is gone as soon as Slowpoke goes to the Village of Outcasts. Because unless there's a sword just sitting in the front of Skull Woods, Treesapthief has to come back straight up.
That is a fair point. And, okay, I also do like this. Just double check to see, hey, do we need to come back here when we get the cape?
So that's the thing, though. These mitts, they don't really do anything for us right now. They're nice to have. That's why I was like, if you're gonna go out of your way to get your mitts early, you gotta capitalize on what they give you. I would have flown to Mire right away.
All right, and meanwhile, Skull Woods, and let's see what we get in here.
Now, we do have a pair of keys, so we can just clean up everything. Was the hook shot? Oh my goodness, that is the entire mountain now. Everything but TR is available to us, and there's the big key of Hera. Oh my.
Well, while we're at it.
Sure, why not?
I think now in the comms booth, we have the advantage of seeing both streams pulled up. Slowpoke is very excited to see that lamp.
He is. You know, there are some players out here that are like, who needs a lamp? And then there's people who are like, lamp? Did you say lamp? I want the lamp! Give me the lamp!
All right,
Free money.
So yeah, with mitts and lamp. So let's see where Slowpoke takes this. This could be Mire, could be Village of Outcasts.
It could be. Oh, there it is. There's that flute to Mire. Actually, this could be desert first because we haven't seen that yet. That would make perfect sense here if you're Slowpoke.
Oh, absolutely. And especially since you can't exactly... Oh. Uh-oh. There we go. Treesapthief was in a little bit of a bind there. Probably should remember that it's got the Bloomerang there.
Yeah, Boomerang will stun Gibdos. You also have the Ice Rod that just freezes them permanently in place.
Yep, but does get through that room very nicely.
You could just Fire Rod them too. That's a small key to pod. That's what, 3 or 4 of those that we know now?
I believe that is our 3rd. Yep.
Not having a sword, do you check this bridge check over in Skullwoods?
I mean,
actually, this could just be the last thing that he does before saving and quitting to the mountain.
That would actually make a good amount of sense. And it looks like that is what Treesapthief will go ahead and do. Yeah, either way, you know you're going to have to come back, so let's just go ahead and, at the very least.
Yeah, we've spoken to Sahasrara, and we have been told that it is in fact the green pendant on Thieves Town. Rather, I should say, Slowpoke has spoken to Sahasrara. Treesapthief hasn't even been in that area yet. Alright, so we have the hook shot, the hammer, no mirror. So we have the long way, we can actually go in and we can logically get 5 checks in Hera and a prize.
Yep. So, oh, and there, yep, and there's that other pod small. Let's see. And Slowpoke will go back and go to Mire's Shed and see what is the medallion requirement.
Now remember, we saw Quake on the Desert Torch that could tell us if the boots are that important or not.
Very nice timing there on the hammer. And we need ether. We can open it up. Slowpoke cannot really get too far, though, not without that hook shot or without boots.
And the Mire Shed giving us nothing. Alright, but at least it's a check out of your way. Off your mind. And you have that little bit of knowledge that when you have the cane and the big key, you can clean up Mire.
By the way, we've gotten 2 small keys over in Paradox 5, pod and ice.
That puts ice fully in logic now too, once we find the flippers.
Yep, that'll be an interesting one. Slowpoke going, looks like either Skullwoods or Village of Outcasts. Probably more Village of Outcasts without that fire rod, but what do I know?
There's a school of thought out there where a lot of players like to consider Skullwoods to be overworld. So this is good in a way, because it's going to get the hook shot in the hands of Slowpoke and just open up a whole bunch more to do. But it's bad because you could one-trip this if you just get your fire rod at Sea House first.
Right, so, but Slowpoke will go ahead and grab that hook shot right now.
Now, one thing to point out, we do know where one of our swords are. And we won't need the other one just yet to get whatever this is, which is a heart container.
Oh,
no!
Oh, no!
Use the powder! Powder him! Or, put him off screen. That works too.
That'll work.
He's gone forever!
This is a well-coded game.
If you powder a dead rock, it does turn into one of those little jelly slime things that literally dies to pretty much everything except for the common cold.
All right, and Slowpoke gonna go ahead and continue through. But we do have treesapthief picking up that heart container. Not oh, well, we do have the big key we do have the big key here, so
We also have the hook shot, so we are going to go ahead and Harapot here. See, it doesn't matter if you have a sword or not. That's just a free setup.
oh, that's another fair question. Slowpoke has been doing honestly a great job of using his items, using the silvers to just take care of the Gibdos real quickly, with the bees, with and perfect timing to also pick up the Woolmaster free trip.
So no back of Skullwoods for treesapthief, for Slowpoke here. We are going to see treesapthief climb back up, opting to do the hook over to get the item out of the big chest here in Hera. And now you have the little back around and up the steps and then back through and up the steps. And hey, Moldorm, how you doing?
And this will be now the good news is it's just going to be 3 hammer hits needed, but Moldorm is pretty bouncy.
Well, Slowpoke's got to be a little careful here on the overworld. Some of these enemies like to do quite a bit of damage to green mail, and sitting on 2 hearts, just hugging a moblin is enough to send us to the morgue here. 3 hammer hits, we said. That's the 3rd one right there.
Well done.
There's that fire rod for Slowpoke, so he's probably going, well, that would have been nice about 2 minutes ago.
But at the 35-minute, 35-second mark, treesapthief is first on the board with the first dungeon clear.
Here comes the rest of East Death Mountain. Let's see Spiral Cave first, probably.
Yeah, from Spiral Cave into likely into Dark Death Mountain at that point.
Now, knowing you can't even go in, would you actually go back up to open the TR portal here? You can't even open it. You don't have a sword yet. So no, I don't think you do. I think you just go up Super Bunny.
Yeah, go up Super Bunny. You can still nip over real quick to just check what the medallion required is.
Oh, we're not even gonna. Oh, that's a decision.
That is interesting, and that might be a let's just go ahead and do that again. Or no, that's flued out. This might be Meyer.
It could be. No, he wants to turn that mushroom right in. Now that's interesting. You're gonna chase this mushroom that aggressively?
You know, it might work out.
Nope, just a Pizza Heart.
Slowpoke gonna go ahead and walk out of Thieves Town. Might have been a little bit quicker to do a Death Warp, but in this Deathless percentage run, still going.
I'm a little bit perturbed here that you would do the Meyer area now when you have all of East Death Mountain just kind of hanging around. Chet's confused as to why we didn't see fake powder. Well, we already checked the magic bat because the powder was in Kakariko, and we happen to have a hammer in our hands already.
Yep, we had a sub 10 minute. We had a sub 10 minute powder check.
We're gonna see the Mirrorless Smith chain from Slowpoke. Okay. Oh, treesapthief wants to go into Meyer, but we don't have a sword. Treesapthief has all 3 Meyer small keys.
Oh. So, our racers giving each other a high five real quick.
Here we go. We're going back to Dark Death Mountain, I have to imagine here. And what are we doing? Oh, we're going to buy a bottle. Okay. I wonder what we do with that, though.
I'll say we're good for pod. It could just be for safety. Slowpoke's already used up all of his bees.
It's like the most aggressive call you could make here would be to, like, fake flipper into ice without the cane. I don't know. Maybe it's just picking it up while you're kind of footloose, fancy free, just to get it out of the way for later.
Right, but yeah, Hera is fully available, or Hera is available to clear for Slowpoke. So we'll see where Slowpoke flutes from here.
All right, probably. Well, yep, up the mountain we go. Okay, cool. Both runners will be on the mountain. We're gonna see what the medallion required for Turtle Rock is. It's double ether.
All right, so we will not need boots for that Quake medallion.
No, could we need boots for something else? What if we have 2 swords in GT, and that sword on the Lumberjack is one of our only other swords available? Where's the cape, then? Cane of Burna. So that puts Spike Cave on the table.
Yep, and that's a very nice, that's an opportune heart refill there. Just a couple small keys, though, that Slowpoke's just going to find a couple small keys here.
All right, what do we have in Hookshot Cave? And is it a sword? I'm really kind of surprised that with all the checks we've made, Treesapthief hasn't found another sword yet.
Yep, and it can't be feeling good. We are 40 minutes in. Oh!
No. There's your cape. We're not going to... Okay, Spike Cave doesn't exist. Understandable.
Let's see where Treesapthief flies to. This might be Eastern at this point.
I mean, this is probably Pod. I would have to say this is Pod. It could be Eastern, though. Eastern into Pod. Just because you don't have a mirror yet.
Yep, so... And this is good for Treesapthief, because this will get Treesap a sword.
Yeah, that sword sitting in Eastern.
Yeah, and that's about it. We still don't have the big key for Eastern. That is still somewhere out on the field.
We don't have the big keys for much. I mean, our trackers right now are only showing us Hera and Ice. So there's got to be something in one of Mire or Pod here. If not both.
Yeah, so after Slowpoke does Pod here, that will probably be the main decision here. Treesapthief I could definitely see doing Pod right after this. Pod is not yet clearable, though.
Well, no, we can't clear anything right now.
Oh, Treesapthief is...
Treesapthief says, I like going into Pod first. And I can't blame him, because he's got 5 smalls. Now, that... You can clear everything but the boss on 5 smalls, if you can hammer up.
Yeah, that's, And this is one of those things where, because we don't have the mirror, even if Swamp weren't required, and it is required, all dungeons, this is where mirror is just such a good item. Just for movement, for being able to route.
Into Palace of Darkness we go, as Treesapthief shows us what we have going on over here. Slowpoke is climbing up Tower of Hera, the old-fashioned way. Ooh, and now we are a shiny Slowpoke-ish. Shiny-ish.
Yep. I think, Galarian Slowpoke?
Yeah, you know, I'm more of a I'm a classic. It is Galarian being confirmed in chat.
Ah, okay.
I've never been to Galar, so I couldn't tell you. Just 10 items out of the shooter-own pod here, so we get to go... I like splitting my route to do back and then front here. Especially, even not having the mirror, it's easy to, you know, Death Warp and Dark Maze.
Yeah, it's... unfortunately easy, but fortunately we also do have, at least we do have the lamp, so it won't be that bad of a pod Dark Maze. Just like that wasn't too bad of a Moldorm there for Slowpoke.
Yeah, easily taken care of. Down goes the Moldworm.
Yep, and that's about, if I remember correctly, that's about 4 minutes difference between the two runners in clearing Tower of Hera. But Slowpoke will still be able to continue on in the mountain. Now, we know it's not going to be much. And Slowpoke, while Slowpoke can pop open... actually, that is one of the things. Slowpoke could open up Turtle Rock.
Yeah, but without a cane, I don't see us going very far.
Yeah, that's the thing. And hopefully Canis Tamaria... what if Canis Tamaria, though, is in Spike Cave?
Yeah, that's the one thing I'm worried about, is we did not see Treesapthief leave Hookshot Cave and go over to a fully logical Spike Cave with that Kinaburna that was sitting in Super Bunny. We might see Slowpoke make that check, however.
Yeah. And that is one of the challenges with a one-on-one race. You have to try to think about, okay, what skips are you going to make? How far ahead do you feel, or more likely, how far behind do you feel? I don't think anyone ever feels truly ahead in a race.
You know, when you want to say what skips are you going to make, I didn't think Pod Arena was on my list of skips to think about. But here we are. Treesapthief has left that there.
All right, map of Ice Palace.
And up Super Bunny Cave for Slowpoke.
Very nice clip there in Super Bunny Cave, by the way. So if you're Slowpoke, where do you go next? We'll see if after this Slowpoke finishes off with, oh, and there's the boots.
Oh boy, those are some go fast shoes, and they are blocked by one more key in logic too.
Oh my! All right.
Oh, we're gonna see a hammer yump the old-fashioned way, without a sword, of course. Oh, that's perfect. Well done, Treesapthief.
Ooh. Very well done. And remembering, right? Don't have the big key quite yet.
We have $50. And HP, and we're gonna save and quit, and that. Oh, are we?
This is probably well.
Does he remember that he didn't pick up the arena check?
I think so. I think this is the Death Warp here.
Yeah, this is my tracker says I've opened 11 of 14 chests when I should have opened 12.
And Slowpoke is gonna go ahead and check out Spike Cave here.
I like it. If you're up here, get it done. It is easy to just leave a Spike Cave on the table for so long if you don't.
Yeah, and also getting through the Lionels very nicely as well. Spike Cave, where good luck. Watch out for mind the spikes.
Don't look now, but if we find a Cane of Samaria, we can finish Meyer.
Ooh, we sure can.
Treesapthief has to find a sword first. And I have to wonder, where are we going? Oh, could this be... Oh, this could be like pyramid and catfish stuff right now.
Yeah. Now, fortunately, Spike Cave did turn out to really not be anything. It was just a compass there. Slowpoke gonna go ahead and turn in that mushroom as well. Maybe get that piece of heart.
See, we say Spike Cave didn't pay off, but if you think about it, Spike Cave not having something is equally as good as Spike Cave having something, because it's a place you don't have to go out of your way to go back to.
Right, especially depending on like if we're looking for the big key of Eastern.
On the pyramid, we have $20. I thought we were going to save and quit. I was like, please don't save and quit.
And I think this is going to be Skull Woods now for Slowpoke.
Yeah, blue mail, 9 hearts, fire rod, hammer. I think we still have a red potion, too.
We do, and Slowpoke did pick up a blue potion as well.
Yeah, this is the moth kill. This will be great for Slowpoke to get another prize out of the way that no matter what happens here, Treesapthief is still going to have to go back for.
Honestly, we have a very entertaining race between these two racers. Both of them still in contention. Treesapthief wins. Treesapthief advances to the bracket stage. If Slowpoke wins tonight and against Ridley Dragon, that will put Treesapthief and Slowpoke in a race off.
So this race has all the stakes for both players here. And only 50 minutes in, lots that can change in the next hour and change. Or less.
Now, did you see what was on Catfish?
Yeah, it looked like a key to Turtle Rock.
That one's, that one is pretty out of the way, kind of depending on how our items shake out. That might be a little bit of time before Slowpoke gets there.
Yeah, and you only need 3 keys to finish this, unless there's an item inside the lava chest of Turtle Rock. So that could actually haunt Slowpoke later if we end up being scant keys. Speaking of scant keys, there's your Skullwoods big key. That is another check that we're going to be able to make in that direction. That, again, is out of the way for Treesapthief right now, but he has to go back anyway, so it's not bad.
Right, well, after Treesap picks up a sword.
Yeah. Where are our swords, game?
Yeah, well, we know where 2 are, and that's the thing. We know where 2 swords are. We could get 1, and there's the big key for desert, so that will draw Treesapthief a little bit further away from there.
All right, so now we have an exhibit of Slowpoke using Pound. It's super effective on Moth, believe it or not. Oh, there's the flamethrower. There we go.
Yeah, and keeping in mind we do have an elixir in our back pocket, and we don't need it.
That is a really nice spot for Have Magic.
That is an excellent spot, and it's a little bit of a time save. Also, I don't have to wait for your magic to refill all the way.
Do still have to wait for your HP to go back up, though. Now, we got the big key to desert, so here's Treesapthief going through desert. Treesapthief, check the big chest.
Uh-oh.
Whoa.
Okay.
You're not coming back in here. You want to go get what's in the big chest as you walk by it.
All right. Well, does remember Slowpoke checking out under the bridge there, and we're gonna go ahead and move on from there.
I'm actually really happy he didn't go out of his way to bonk the Quake off the torch, because we know it's not necessary for anything. All right, now we're going to go see a Landmo fight. And this will be the pod play now for Slowpoke, which is, again, completely reasonable. We have 5 keys. This is going to net some boots.
Well, some boots which lead to big keys as well. That's going to be so boots are 100% required.
The question is, where's that last key that puts all this in logic?
That is a fair, good question.
Is it Meyer? It's got to be in Meyer.
What?
Think about it. Where haven't we... had been that we can get into with the items that both players have access to that could hold a key to put everything in place. The only place we haven't touched that we logically can is Mire.
Yep, and treesapthief is going to be a lot more incentivized to go there, having the big key.
Here's the problem.
No sword.
We can't open the door.
Oh, shoot. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, where are the other 2 swords?
So the problem is that the treesapthief is going to last locate his progression in the form of a sword.
Oh, and at this point, we might see an earlier castle tower just to get that sword.
But you need a sword to get the sword. It's a sword block sword. You need a sword to cut the curtains, to beat Aga, to get that second sword. Now, what's worse is if we find... What is this one? Oh, no. Oh, no. Answer a question in chat. Our fighter's sword was an Eastern Palace in the Compass chest. That's something that Slowpoke decided to do. And we thought treesapthief was going to, but then he just fluted off to 5 and went into pod instead, and not having a mirror, that sword remains sitting there waiting. And now we're going into thieves, and again, this is fine, but yeah, we have at least Keen and Burna to back us up here. We do not know what our third pendant is, but suddenly we have 2.
That is true, and we have not yet checked what is on pedestal. Pedestal is in play here.
It's Mire. Mire's the third pendant.
Oh no! Oh, we've got. Oh, the seed has the jokes. The seed has the jokes.
Hi everybody, it's not even an hour yet and I'm going to plug it anyway. If you like what these 2 have been given, give them a follow here on Twitch. Slowpoke316, treesapthief, follow Sorcerer Finch, they're in this tournament. Follow me, I'm in this tournament. Follow Lady Laura Linda, I know she doesn't stream, but she is a tracker extraordinaire. Give a big round of applause to Ricky for putting us on tonight.
And if you're interested in helping volunteer for these couple tournaments we got the Challenge Cup, we've got the main tournament for Link to the Past. Go ahead and join the Discord as well.
Go Mode Podcast will have the Mentor tournament coming up in just a couple months. We're going to have the Cross Keys tournament here at ZSR, usually in midsummer. There's always some kind of Zelda content somewhere.
Right, there will be a tournament for all skill levels. I think is the big thing.
Yeah, we got the tournament season never ends. The tournament 2020 season still hasn't ended. Have you heard? All right, here's this Thieves Town play again. No sword. At this point, the sword's it's gonna show up when it shows up, right?
Right, and you know it could be further in Thieves Town. Like at this point, there is still probably not 2 swords in Ganon's Tower. But where are those swords? And depending on where that now at least Eastern Palace Big Key cannot be in Ganon's Tower. That's our good news.
What's the bad news, Finch?
There are a heck of a lot of other places they could be, including Mire.
Oh no. Mire just feels like the linchpin here, doesn't it?
It really does. And with that, Slowpoke now knows Quick Attack.
Ooh, chat pointing out something actually, this is vital. Think about this. Oh, that's on a different layer, Slowpoke. You're gonna have to bonk to it. Green Pendant turn-in could be the thing that makes treesapthief go to Easter.
Oh. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
It might be the only thing that makes treesapthief go to Eastern without it being his last location.
All right, so let's see. Where does Slowpoke go from here? Slowpoke did burn that key. Yeah, I don't think Slowpoke knows how to hammer yump consistently, so we'll have to find another small key. Wait, no, never mind, we're good.
They didn't burn the key going into Dark Maze. We haven't touched Dark Maze. We got the boots out of Harmless Hellway. And looped around to go back this way.
We saw Dark Maze, I thought.
Did we? Did we save a key for the front door? Is that what that is? I have no idea.
Oh. And chat and always feel free to prove us commentators wrong. And we do have a blind fight going on Tree Sap Thief's side.
A blind fight? I can't see it.
See what?
Exactly. See this hammer? Yeah, you didn't see that one coming, did you? Honestly, Hammer Blind is not an easy fight, and Tree Sap Thief is handling this pretty well. 2 and 3. There we go. We're done.
Oh, well done. Just in the nick of time as well. And that is dungeon number 3 down.
All right. We're going to pick up our little menagerie of big keys here. You saw that moment of contemplation. Tree Sap Thief trying to figure out where he wants to go next.
Oh, okay. So this is going to be Smith Chain here.
We haven't seen him do that yet. Slowpoke already showed us a whole lot of nothing on the Smith Chain.
Yeah. Now, I don't believe Slowpoke did the... Now, I don't believe Slowpoke actually finished off Smith Chain.
Maybe not. Did not do Purple Chest?
I don't believe so. I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
He did not do Peg Cave or Purple Chests, confirmed by our tracker. Okay.
We'll pick up that heart container. It's standing right here. And yeah, we are 1 hour in. We have only been able to pick up 1 sword so far.
We know where a sword is, but it's locked by a sword.
Yep, so Slowpoke could do Castle Tower. I mean, now Silver's... Actually, Slowpoke's in pretty good shape for Mire, honestly. Because a lot of the enemies in here, in Mire... do die to a fighter sword hit. It's a whole bunch of Wizrobes, and you've got Silvers for Vitreous.
Yeah, but you don't have a cane of Samaria to get to Vitreous.
Yeah, fair. Well,
it's just sitting in Mire at this point. You know it.
Right, or it's going to be the big key and then the Samaria on Eastern, or big key of Eastern in Mire. All right, here we go. I think this is close to a last location for Tree Sap Thief.
This is Green Pendant first, though.
Yeah.
And, you know, I will laugh if this is the Eastern Big Key. What else could it be? Well, there's a lot of things it could be, actually. How about just a piece of heart? Thanks, Saha. You're the greatest.
And that's the flute out. Okay. We'll be continuing on. Okay.
I think there's nothing else he can do that isn't go pick up the sword. Except for, the rest of Smith Chain.
Alright, well, Slowpoke don't be sad, because 2 out of 3 silver arrow shots, it ain't bad.
Oh... Oh, it feels so bad to watch that. Oh, no. You're so used to having a sword in here. Especially if you play casual boots a lot, because you always start with a sword in casual boots. Heck, even a good chunk of the standard boots seeds that we've been running in this tournament start with a sword, or at least have an early sword. You can't item dash without a sword. Not even in Swordless.
Yeah, but Tree Sap Thief will continue, and we'll go ahead and... honestly, right here is one of the favorite things of Randomizer, one of the very early things, to just be able to hook shot over to this chest. Right there. If you have the hook shot.
Mm-hmm. It's one of those things, you might be like, oh my god, this game is awesome! The first time you see it, and then it's just like, Ho hum, I don't want to get this chest without the hook shot, because now it's slow. Alright, we're going straight to Thieves Town. Honestly, this is fair, because you do Thieves Town, then you finish off Smith Chain if you feel so inclined, and then you go into Mire, because there's nothing left. At an hour 3 and 38 seconds, Treesapthief has a butter knife.
Yep. So actually, where is... Oh, Slowpoke's gonna go ahead and... Yep, big chest. Actually, this is a good thing to check first. Just try to see, hey, if it's oh my goodness, this is Canis Samaria.
Oh, this is one of those locations that's just not nice to get back to.
Yeah, now the good news is is going to go ahead and check it. And Treesapthief won't be missing it for too long, and it's just a map of Thieves Town anyway.
Oh, it's just redundancy of, hey, you're going here next.
Yep, it's the, well, and especially since we already knew. We already checked with Saha.
We saw it earlier. Treesapthief wanted to go into Mire. Had Ether out at the door and got the big old buzzer of, nope, guess what you don't have? Well, now he has it. Oh, what's this? We're going up to the castle. Is this for Master Sword, do you think, Finch?
I think this is just to get the Master Sword. Now that it's finally in logic. Oh,
it's for Dark Cross.
Dark Cross.
I'm being juked. How could you?
No,
he might still, but no, I see him saving and quitting out of here. But why now? No, seriously, why now? Samaria? Is that the only reason you could possibly choose to do this now?
Samaria, big key. And
he's setting up to Death Warp. He's absolutely climbing now. Remember, these snakes are treated the same as a guard, just with a different sprite. So they're going to do half a heart of damage on any male. He's setting this warp up because he's going to cape in and do Castle Tower now. And you know, that's fine. You need to do it anyway.
Right.
I just don't understand doing it now.
Well, it is a huge difference between Fighter Sword, Master Sword, and then if you do find Tempered, then you're good. Once you're on Tempered Sword, you're fine.
Right, we have the tools to just make this a breeze too. We have silvers, we have a fire rod, we have a hook shot to stun anything in our way. Silvers will one-shot anything up here. Silvers one-shot almost anything in general.
So does that mean Vitreous is twice as strong only Ganna's only twice as strong as Vitreous?
Ganon's just a tank. I wouldn't call him strong.
Fair. Well, yeah, especially if you run into him. Don't take Ganon hugs. 0 out of 10, do not recommend.
Live proof of concept in Fad Keys, the Castle Tower keys, remain in their vanilla dungeon. They're not shuffled in with the rest of the keys. Later, we'll be searching for the Ganon's Tower big key, because that is also still going to be in Ganon's Tower.
Ooh, and Slowpoke just getting across the bridge there. I mean, if he falls, he would just respawn at the door, so it's not the end of the world.
So we have one of our other RNG guessing games. If chat wants to get involved here, they can. Once we see the wizard, the wonderful wizard of what? Aghanim himself will be sitting at the top of this tower, and every first attack will be an attack you can deflect back at him. But his second, third, and fourth attacks each cycle will be randomized between what we like to call a blue ball and one of those regular energy ball attacks. So, how many blue balls are we going to see from Aghanim today? Because it will be the same for both players.
Yep, I think let's go with the average right now. And by the way, Slowpoke taking down Blind there and picking up their 4th dungeon, giving a temporary 1 dungeon lead. But yeah, I'm gonna guess. I'll just go ahead and go kind of average here. We'll go with 3.
I'd like to see something like 2. Okay, 2 is always good. I've seen as many as like 7 and 9, and like it's just it feels almost unnecessary.
Oh, so this will actually probably be purple chest turn in also for Slowpoke here after checking Pet Cave here.
Yep. It's one thing we haven't seen yet, right?
Yep. So Aghanim attacks in patterns of 5. First one is always reflectable. 2 through 4 are 50-50. Usually we've had one blue ball so far. And then that 5th attack is lightning. Do not try to reflect the lightning. It is not good for you. And that is going to be the completion of the Smith Chain for Slowpoke coming up.
Yeah, just flute to 7 from here, and then we'll get to see where Slowpoke decides to go next. And that's just $20. So, we've got... Honestly, it's just Mire at this point, isn't it? Mire and Green Pendant is all Slowpoke has left? Unless he too decides to climb.
Right, okay, right, because this is going to be the Green Pendant turn-in. And that is Aghanim down for treesapthief.
Little accidental flute there. I've done that. It was in fact 5 blue balls, so good guess there, Gundam Girl. And we're going to pick up that sword. It might end up being an advantage in the end for treesapthief. But
ooh, wait a second.
Well, he's going to flute, I'm going to guess, either to 3 or to 8.
Oh, this is going to be Mire, though, for Slowpoke.
Yeah, and in Slowpoke's... Oh, stupid boulders. In Slowpoke's eyes, this is the last location.
Yeah, but this is definitely going to be... There's at this point, there's got to be something here.
Yeah, that something could be a lot of things. Could be flippers. Could be the Eastern Big Key. Could be a mirror. It could be a Cane of Samaria. Then you just finish Mire and go pull Pedestal or something.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, right. And Slowpoke did throw the frozen bird into the drink for all of us.
Bird toss, da 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 da.
There will be a king. Meanwhile, Slowpoke going ahead and do Mire here. But treesapthief does get the Master Sword about, about 7 minutes after getting the Fighter Sword?
Sword into sword, and this is actually going to make his moth fight a little bit nicer. Are we going to see a pedestal read? Is that what this is for? I don't see any other reason you come into the forest from here. Slowpoke showing us bombs in the lobby of Misery Mire. Yeah, here comes the pedestal raid. Kane can't be here. Lots of other things can. Flippers on pedestal!
Oh no!
You know. There's the Easter Big Key's just in Mire! What is happening?
And treesapthief is going into Mire, so...
that means... The flippers, that means all of Ice and Swamp are blocked by the Cane of Samaria. It has to be here. It almost has to be here. It could be an Eastern, but it's more than likely just going to be here.
Yeah, there's only 2 checks remaining. There are 2 checks remaining, and they're both in Eastern, and... we are at a point now where both of our racers. This is interesting.
Oh gosh, could you see a situation where not having this knowledge, Slowpoke just goes to TR?
I could see Slowpoke going back and checking Ped. Or just pulling Ped.
I mean, this is your third pendant, so I mean, yeah, maybe just yanking Ped because nothing else is really on the table. That would require Kane to just be here.
By the way, where is that? Now, this would funnel both, if it's not here, that would funnel both of our racers back to Eastern.
Yeah, for the two checks that lay therein, the big chest and the boss. It's not vanilla. Whatever the game wants us to do, it's here.
All right, and Slowpoke, remembering, we don't have the Cane of Samaria. Been going at this actually a little bit of a different route than usual, but this will kind of clear out everything. You know, you're not looking for the big key.
Ooh. Oh! I don't like that. That's awkward for treesapthief. Having already knocked down Castle Tower, every save and quit in the Dark World with that mirror is going to put him on the pyramid.
Yep. Slowpoke going to go ahead and check out Checkerboard Cave at this point. Absolutely a good place. And yeah, this does unlock a few more places. Where is the Cane of Samaria?
Oh, there's our second sword. That is actually huge for treesapthief.
Yeah, that's gonna be a huge advantage. Now, if we find that fourth sword, though, then it's a little bit less of an advantage. Butter versus tempered. It can make a difference. And Slowpoke is gonna go ahead and finish off Eastern at this point. Is gonna go ahead and save Castle Tower to the end, and at this point, he can. We've got the Master Sword. Ganon is doable with the Master Sword. It takes a long time.
So this really just going to come down to where this cane is and what treesapthief decides to do after pulling this mirror in Minor. Because he's going to clearly go to Checkerboard and just get that sword. There's no way you don't here.
Right. Oh, actually, you got to be a little... And that's why I pulled out magic there, because a little low on magic there. Or low on hearts.
See, that... The mirror is just weird here. And that's where the sword comes into play for Slowpoke as well. Because that gives us Bombo's tablet. That we couldn't touch previously. We could read it, but now we can obtain it. That gives us Graveyard Ledge. We can't go into Swamp until we find the cane. But now we have the item that gets us the ability to do so.
Yeah, we got K45. We've got... All right. And we get a Smokey to Pod. All right, we can now complete out Pod. Once we get the big key.
Yeah, that's probably something Slowpoke was happy to see, even though there isn't really anything in Dark Maze.
Yeah, at this point now, Slowpoke will be able to just go ahead and not worry about keys. And yep, there is that Tempered Sword over on treesapthief's side.
He's probably ecstatic to see that, to be completely honest. Tempered Sword is really one of the most powerful single upgrades in the entire game. It incrementally stages your sword damage so much higher.
All right, and this is probably going to be Mothula here now for treesapthief. Is going to go ahead and pick up that half magic there as well. Kind of unfortunate that because if Cane of Samaria is back here, then I could see Slowpoke. Never mind, it's just bombs.
All right, so we're probably going to have to find it in either K45, Bombos, or Graveyard Ledge.
We've got a fascinating race. At this point, sword advantage definitely does go to treesapthief at this point. The dungeons that the other hasn't cleared yet. Eastern is probably the longest. Is a pretty long dungeon there.
I don't know if long is the term I would use for Eastern.
Tedious?
It's annoying because it's a little out of the way. And you can't combo it with Pod yet, even though we've done everything we can do in Pod. We just don't have the big key.
Yeah, and we are going to get K45 over on Slowpoke's side.
You could also see Bombos here.
Ooh, we could. And this, okay, and we are going to go ahead and see Bombos. I like this overall route. Overall, it feels a little segmented. They're a little bit of a distance away, but it could be worse. Treesapthief going to go ahead and burn that red potion. And what is on Bombo's tablet? We have the cane!
There it is. That's pet mode. And in fact, that's actually the last major item that we need outside of keys to complete this seed.
Yeah, that is because, yeah, we have double ether, and Slowpoke is going to go ahead and finish off Meyer at this point.
And unfortunately for Treesapthief, that could still be a last location, because Bombos is one of those places you really don't want to go to.
Right, although, how many other places does Treesap have?
And he still has K45, King's Tomb, not King's Tomb, Graveyard Ledge.
True, and
he still has to clean up Eastern. And again, Eastern, well, not really too long of a dungeon if you've already been in it. It's a bit out of the way.
Yep, so at this point, Slowpoke's best grabs the heart, immediately takes the Beamos hit. Slowpoke, if Slowpoke rushes Ped, Slowpoke's in great shape.
There's one other thing this does for our runners, Finch. Ganon's Tower is haunted. There is no progression in Ganon's Tower because all 3 pendants are guaranteed clearable.
Ooh, that is a good point. That is a good point.
So the key count for GT is only going to have some kind of bearing on where the GT big key is. Literally nothing else.
It's probably why we've only found 2 so far. There are 4 out there with out in Hyrule in the Dark World, and this is going to be Treesapthief. Remembering, got a mirror. Okay, good remembering that.
He is going to Eastern first, and you know, it's a dungeon that you need to clear. It makes perfect sense.
Absolutely. Like, whether going straight for K45 or not, you got to do this. But yeah, we're pretty much down to... yeah, Slowpoke is almost in item mode. We still need the TR big key. We still need the Pod big key. And we still need the Swamp Palace small key.
We also need at minimum 1 more TR small key if we want to be able to get to Trinex without touching the lava chest. We might still see both of them. But to this point, we know where one is that Slowpoke does not have, and it's over on Catfish.
Yeah, that one's sort of that's an awkward location. There are a lot of different places for our runners. Like, it's hard to see who has a lead. I mean, there is no one with a lead right now.
Yeah, as it stands, not only is there no real clear lead right now, there's also, like, anything that can happen between routing and execution. Like, obviously right now we had to pick a spot for the mirror check for the cane, and Slowpoke found the cane. There we are. We're going to go blind pull Ped. We might read it first, too, but we're going out of our way to go get Ped, because Ped, at this point, has to be something.
Right, and we have a Ped seed. I mean, technically we have an Aga seed. If we want to be pedantic about it, which we can. We have a Ped seed. And we have an Aga seed. Don't you love it?
We have a Ped all dungeons seed. Fantastic.
Oops, all dungeons. And it is kind of interesting, though, right here to see the difference between clearing Castle Tower and not.
Now, why would you even read it? Just go get him. And HM3 is now going into the key items pocket. Here we go. All right, what do you do with this? Do you check your first? No, you go to ice here. Is what I think happens.
Yeah, at this point, this is going to be Ice Palace. You can do Icebreaker.
Oh, this is interesting. Are we going to get the sword first?
We are getting the sword. And to be fair, we were talking about differences in swords. That is one of the big ones.
This is a bit of time to give back, too. And especially if there's something else in either of the other locations that this mirror blocks.
Although, where's Treesapthief going at this point?
Treesapthief has to be thinking Graveyard Ledge.
You're right. Yeah, Graveyard Ledge. So that will, that'll give a little bit of time back. And granted, Cold Stare, huge difference between Master Sword and Tempered Sword.
Yeah, but with half magic Fire Rod, what's the point?
That's fair. There's also Ganon Fight, which is Ganon's Fight's 2 minutes. This is going to be interesting. We will see how this ends up playing out. So if you find, Link to the Past Randomizer interesting, if you've been enjoying this, make sure to also give a follow to the Zelda Speedruns channel. A lot of great content, all sorts of Legend of Zelda, not just Link to the Past, but there's a lot of tournaments going on right now for Link to the Past, so by golly.
Yeah, what do we got? We have, we just got the 80 Keys tournament started this past weekend. We've got this, the Challenge Cup, and the main tournament. This is kind of the main tournament's play-along companion for those who didn't hit the top 128, which doesn't mean anything bad about any of the ones participating in Challenge Cup. This community has gotten increasingly skilled over the past couple of years. And I mean, it is a dogfight for every single race that you get involved in these days. Oh, this is Purple Chest. He hasn't done Purple Chest yet.
Oh, okay. And actually, this, depending on this route, this could work out. Okay, he is going to walk it out. That will lead more towards Bombos.
I mean, Bombos at this point is his last location again, isn't it?
Yeah, at this point, because we've already got Graveyard Ledge. There is nothing else. Ooh, getting booed a little bit there, but does recover and pick up the Purple Chest. The Purple Chest will not mirror with you to the other world.
Yeah, you have to have it following you, or else you're going to leave it there, and it's not going to be there when you come back. Oh boy, don't flute. Oh. Thank you for not fluting.
We've had some nerve-wracking decisions made by both players, but that is the fun, because there's the usually will work out for you play, and there's the right play, and they're not always the same.
And they're not always obvious. Well, here we are, and that'll be a cane in the hands of one treesapthief in just a second here.
All right, and that is Cane of Samaria, so that will be an immediate flute back to Meyer, clear that up. Because Treesapthief does know exactly what is on pedestal there.
And that's a point out that our tracker has in chat. Neither runner has checked the man under the bridge yet. And for good cause, it wasn't logically available anyway, but could still have progression once we have these flippers.
That's a good point. Now, it is a much quicker check, especially you're going to be in that area anyway. It's a little bit out of the way, but it could be worse.
Slowpoke is going to walk it out from here to check the item on Pyramid, because we haven't been here yet.
That's a good point. And but yeah, pulling out the mirror, so this will be skipping out on Catfish for the time being, but you've got dungeons to complete.
Here's the forgotten screen.
I remember first time playing Link to the Past, like 4 years ago, going through that screen so often because I just kept on getting lost.
So we'll have a tempered sword pickup for Slowpoke. I think it's clear here that if you want to call any kind of advantage, I wouldn't say a lead still. There's lots that can change between now and going to Ganon's Tower. I would say we have a very slight advantage to Slowpoke right now.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Slowpoke has 6 dungeons done, or 7, my apologies. 7 to treesapthief's. This will be treesapthief's 7th coming up. The only difference right now is this Vitreous. Slowpoke is still missing one of the Turtle Rock small keys from Catfish. That might matter, that might not matter. We still have a little bit to check. And this is going to be an arrow pickup here for Slowpoke.
It's fine. You don't want to run out of arrows when you've got things to kill.
Yep, and especially as we're down to, what, 2 or 3 items remaining, and they're all keys at this point.
Yeah, we need the Swamp Small Key, which can literally just be anywhere outside of Swamp Palace at this point, except it can't be in GT, because everything else is a crystal, and I don't believe treesapthief has a potion. He had to drink his red potion earlier, so this is true Oko right now.
Yep, but does get through, just needs to put 2 silver arrows into Vitreous, and that was close.
Oh, that was spicy. But we are through it. That is our 3rd pendant, and we'll go pull the flippers off the pedestal in just a minute.
Yep, so, but it's probably only about a 2-minute advantage right now for Slowpoke, and that does depend on where keys are. We are not in go mode.
Yeah, we need the Swamp Small Key, we need the Pod Big Key, we still haven't seen that one, and we need the TR Big Key and at least 1 more small if we're treesapthief. We need at least 2 if we're Slowpoke. Here comes ye old Icebreaker. Little wiggle around under the block, and there we go. That barrier does not exist. Alakazam.
Barrier? What barrier?
I'm sorry, not Alakazam, Slowpoke.
All right, and there's the ped pull over on treesapthief's side. That will be good for the flippers.
There is your Pod Big Key. So that's one less thing that we need to hunt for, because it's just on the path.
Yeah. And Slowpoke gonna go ahead and check out the... Whoop! Oh, it does take some 1.0 damage right there. As you fall, you still are represented on the screen, so you can still take damage.
See, I would almost want to take damage there, though, to be completely honest with you. Please take my sword beams away.
That's fair. Although it can make a little bit of a difference, especially with the upcoming Cold Stare fight, to be able to do, just use half as many Fire Rod shots. We are getting a check under the bridge here by treesapthief, by the way. This could still be an item of progression or a key of progression.
It could also just be a piece of heart. It's the shovel.
Oh dear.
It's just a fetch quest.
Oh, this seed has the jokes.
Yeah, we're fluting back to 8. Okay. 10 arrows. So you've already done Iced Tea. We don't need another key to get to Cold Stare at this point. So we're going to pick up whatever's in this big chest and then just drop down with that. It's the last sword.
All right.
The sword was just on our path the entire time.
So both of our racers will have silver and gold coming up. Because I imagine treesapthief will go ahead and pick that up. And welcome in, Raiders, Sentai Lord, and Party of 4.
Challenge Cup Action Group U. Hanging out playing some Fad Keys. Big game between treesapthief and Slowpoke. Treesapthief wins. It's all over. He's in brackets. Slowpoke wins, and then Slowpoke has a game against our administrator of the tournament, Ridley Dragon, coming up this weekend. If he wins both, they have a race-off at the end of this week.
And it's a small to Turtle Rock.
Oh, that's a big, small key. It's not the small key, but it's a big, small key. And you know what? There might be a situation here. Not having that catfish key is the undoing for Slowpoke.
It will depend a lot on where that final small key will be. And this is going to be Slowpoke clearing up pod. But yeah, because if this key here, because also there are 2 items. We still have the big chest here in pod as well.
And remember, Slowpoke did not hammer up, so he still has the other 2 checks. He's going to get that big chest one way or the other.
Right now, at this point, you are 3 items, three keys total from go mode. There's that big key of pod for a treesapthief. This is a tense race, and it really depends. Right now, it's down to catfish.
Right, because TR could have its own 3rd key, but if there is a swamp small in that lava chest, that's trouble.
Yeah, that is going to be a problem. And Slowpoke is going to go ahead and rush to the back first. It's a little bit of an interesting play, but either way, you know you're going to be picking up both, so...
Oh, he already opens. I thought he didn't do Dark Maze.
He had.
Okay, so he just needed this key to clear the dungeon at all. Okay.
Yeah, so, yeah, he just didn't do the main arena check. Or he didn't open that door up quite yet.
Oh, well, that puts her half magic in logic, at least.
Yeah. We don't care about that logic right about now, though. All right. Well, that is also Butter Sword for treesapthief, and we do continue. Yeah, at this point we are feeling pretty linear, but yeah, this is gonna come down to, do we need, where is the swamp small key?
Ooh, Cold Stare getting away, but luckily we do have glowing hot butter. Melts right through the Cold Stare puffs.
Yep.
Not even using the fire rod. That's how hard that sword hits.
Yep, and there is that small for Turtle Rock. So treesapthief in pretty good shape for Turtle Rock. We'll go ahead and do pod though, because again, we can't. Right now, it would feel really bad to have to come back, climb the mountain a second time for Turtle Rock.
Here's the other thing that we need to think about. We don't have the Turtle Rock big key yet either. So where's that gonna land?
At this point, I'm thinking, oh please, it's not in
I
Spinello
think
location.
It's got to be Swamp Small in the front of TR, leading to TR Big in Swamp. Probably left side of Swamp.
Well, while we're at it,
there's really nothing else for us to look. I mean, like, we could have just. We have the shovel. That could be something. You could find your basement key for Hera. That could be something. Like, there isn't a lot left on the table. We've seen so much of the world already.
Yep, and but that is King Helma, and Helmasaur has nothing.
You took his lunch money. How dare you bully King Helma like that?
All right, and as treesapthief, let's see if treesapthief goes to the back first, or. But yeah, right now Slowpoke on one hand, is ahead a full pod, or at least the clearing of pod, but yeah, this is a close one.
Oh, this one feels so strange. We still haven't seen mirror checks from Slowpoke either, so this is probably... Where are we going? Where are we going? Yeah, we're going back into the Dark World, so this has got to be a catfish here.
Right, under the bridge, and then catfish.
Yeah, so that'll give us shovel. We still haven't seen the shovel checked by treesapthief yet either.
Yeah, and at this point, like, you got to be thinking, like, do we just go ahead and rush Turtle Rock? Like, will we find the big key in Turtle Rock?
You know, I feel like this kind of feels... You've played enough, you know what Ice Rod Hunt feels like, right? When you're down to, well, I could go to Turtle Rock, it's my 7th crystal, or I could play Pick a Pendant and see if the Ice Rod is literally anywhere but Turtle Rock. That's what this feels like with this Turtle Rock big key.
Well, at least we already had the Ice Rod, huh? Like, that was what, Mini Moldorm Cave?
I think so. It was very early on. It's just like, well, there's your Ice Rod. We're going to need that later. But at this point, though, everything else just kind of feels like an Ice Rod, too.
Yeah. Now, of note, this is Slowpoke going to go ahead and grab that TR small key. We have an extremely close race. This is...
Wait. We have a big key on the Zora ledge.
Oh!
He was coming back up here no matter what. This is either Swamp or TR.
Yeah, oh, you're absolutely right. Oh my goodness. Treesapthief doesn't know.
He didn't look. He didn't look, did he? He didn't even walk in. He just, oh no.
Yeah, he didn't check Zora.
And we've already got the mirror out. If we, this is driver's seat for Slowpoke if that's the TR big key.
So, oh boy, that is memory right there. That is, so Slowpoke's main tracker is actually a Post-it that he keeps like for every single seed that he then tosses at the end of the seed. It's coming in clutch here.
Yeah, this is, hey, write that down because you might need it later. And guess what? If this is our Turtle Rock big key, then we're in Swamp Small Go.
Yeah, and at that point, yeah, you absolutely go to TR at this point, and it is.
It is.
Rehar!
Oh boy, we have. Oh, it's like finally figuring out where that one puzzle piece goes that kind of makes everything around it fit together.
Oh my goodness, I had forgotten about that big key. For Slowpoke's sake, I'm glad that he didn't.
And not even just that. It is such a big deal that big key is there. Because, I mean, how do you route in Zora? You're gonna go to Shovel, and then your density play is going into TR, right?
Yeah, I mean
that is so easily last located by treesapthief if he doesn't go like right now.
And this is gonna be Shovel.
Watch this be the Swamp Small, just to add suspense to this.
Although at this point that would be Slowpoke's, like that would be one of Slowpoke's next plays. Like both racers have outs is the thing. Like they both have things, and
oh, it's just the boomerang. Okay, the good boomerang at least.
Yeah, and unfortunately this is treesapthief going up the mountain without the big key, counting on it being up here. But it will not. It will be on Zora Ledge.
At the very least, it's going to push him out of the dungeon relatively quickly.
That is true. That is true. And we did see Bumper Ledge. I think it was just, it was junk.
Yeah, Bumper Ledge was looked at when both runners, I think actually... Slowpoke, I think, looked at it right out of Skullwoods on his first journey in, maybe. Either way, we've seen it from both sides. It is nothing of importance, or we've gone back, because we've had the cape for a good long while.
All right, so now we're just kind of down to the Swamp Small. We are at key parity otherwise, well, except for the Swamp Palace, a big key, actually.
Now, Slowpoke needs to remember, if he wants to go all the way to Trinex, to not bump open the big key check door.
Right. Or, I mean, not to say we could still have a small key to this dungeon in this dungeon, but it's not really what you want to have to count on.
It's also just not here. First 3 checks of TR? Absolutely not.
Gonna go ahead and grab that magic refill, and there is still one more spot for, or 2 more spots in here before treesapthief would at least get kicked out. Whoops. Slowpoke given 110%, going a little bit past.
And oh, absolutely not. Chat wants to know if you checked the big key in the big key chest. I think, no way. Maybe on a death word from Laser Bridge, just to scum it, but no, not otherwise.
Yeah, but the big question now is, what is on Lava Bridge? Or what is on Lava Chest? At this point, it would be, I think, a last location for both of our runners. They are even on keys, though. Overall, at least.
Slowpoke. Slowpoke. Oh, here we go. We're opening it. We just opened the door. He realizes it. It's just a heart. Slowpoke needs to get bailed out now. But also, he's got some time.
Something else I've realized.
Yeah?
Yeah, and this is not as important. We have not found a shield yet, have we?
Do you know what? We're at an hour 45 in. We don't have any shields. We haven't even visibly seen a shield.
Right?
Lady Warlinda, can you confirm this? Like, have we not seen a single shield? Maybe we saw one in Hera Basement. Maybe I'm thinking of my own race. No shields on my tracker. She has not seen a shield herself, which means they don't exist.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, here is the Mimic Cave check. Again, we're looking for a TR small now. Now, the good news is, if it's not here, it has to be in Swamp. Or in Hera Basement, if we find the Hera key.
Oh,
Bad news is, we have to come back, period.
Right, now, now this could still work out, because once you clear TR, well, you're already in the mountain after having done Swamp, and you're doing GT. So, at least it's not, it could be worse.
Right.
But, yeah, the racers are so close together, but so far. Treesapthief, this is Treesapthief's final check available.
Yeah, from here he cannot continue in Turtle Rock. He'll have to leave.
I think he thinks he has the big key.
He might. There's the small key to this dungeon in Crystal Roller Room.
Oh my goodness!
And at 1:47 and 24 seconds, there is nothing that cannot be right in front of Slowpoke. That is effectively his go mode.
Oh my goodness. Just the sigh of relief there. And this is treesapthief gonna go ahead and check out the Zora area, but that is going to be a reclimb.
Yeah, Swamp Small. If Swamp Small's not here, then Hera Small has to be here. If Hera Small's not here, and it's not Swamp Small here either. There it is, and officially go mode for Slowpoke, and he knows it. He's going, and he is. I bet you he's probably having all kinds of emotions after just kind of autopiloting into that door, and then immediately getting rescued by a key in Crystal Roller.
Oh my goodness! And there's that big key for treesapthief. Getting the confirmation there was something on Zora Ledge. This is going to be like a pretty decent time advantage now for Slowpoke.
Now, did treesapthief save a portal? Oh, he's going to check this just in case it's Swamp Small. We know it's not, but this is reasonable.
Right, and there's a bee in a jar.
Yeah, but did he save a portal up on the mountain, or does he have to do front to back TR all over again?
He might have saved that portal.
As long as he didn't save and quit. And he's going to say, oh boy, okay, we're doing front to back TR all over again. So that puts Slowpoke a full Turtle Rock ahead.
Yep, and Turtle Rock is a pretty big dungeon, but you know there's still a couple shenanigans that could still be done, but it is definitely Slowpoke in the driver's seat at the 1 hour 49 minute and 30 second mark. And this is going to be just one more crystal to get.
Now, as long as he knows how to handle his keys in Ganon's Tower, which I'm seeing both runners are tracked to have 2 small keys to GT, which that tracks because they're pretty much check parity at this point. The only thing that one runner has done that the other one has not is the shovel. That treesapthief showed us was just the red boomerang.
And even then, that check was, 5 minutes ago? Even.
As long as you know how to use your keys in GT, you can get through all 27 basement checks, including finding the big key and turning it into the big chest, on 2, and still have a key to climb.
Yeah. Slowpoke will probably go ahead and do left side, full left. Kind of for usual routing, at least, but we will see. We'll see if we go Hope Room first. We will start to think about what number between 1 and 22 that you think that GT big key will be in.
So therein lies the question. If you do enter with just 2 keys, does that affect your routing at all? Because if you go full left and check everything, you can't go right and steal the key from the Pots After Compass room.
That is a good point. That's an excellent point.
So you're either doing Hope to Compass, stealing the key and mirroring, and then going hard left from Compass, or you're doing the Stalfos to Compass back left. Now, as some people used to call it Dark Magician, I've heard recent, more seasoned, I should say, runners refer to it as the Bwain route. Bwain, of course, another player who's been around for a long time and a member of the Rules Council. At least I think he was. Is he still? I might have that wrong.
Definitely was at some point.
If he's not still, he was on the previous session. I believe he is still a council leader, though.
Yeah, and Slowpoke not even looking at those other item checks. At this point, Slowpoke is very much just laser focused on the goal, getting the Canis Tamari out to do some diver down, because we've already clipped through rails earlier, like with Icebreaker. Why not another one?
Only so much more to go. Just Ganon's Tower after this Argus fight. And we have seen every single big key. Except for GT, because it's going to be in GT.
Yep, we've got the keys, we've got the... Yeah, and here we go. Here is Argus. Here is the second to last dungeon we will face.
And there is the Go Mode big key for treesapthief, and just like Slowpoke, deciding he doesn't want any of Laser Bridge, except he probably looks at his GT key count and goes, yeah, I do.
But we'll see if it pays out. It is a time investment here. And it did not pay out.
Not just time, but
Oh.
resources too. We're down to 3 hearts. We have magic coming up in the next room. At least
Right,
we have
and-
powder too.
Right, like we should be fine, and yeah, we're fine. But that is second to last dungeon. Get your guesses in chat. Where do you think the GT Big Key will be?
And you got a little bit of time here because we still have to climb the mountain just to get to GT. Anywhere from 1 to 22.
Ruby, what are you thinking?
I want this to be kind. Please put it in Hope Room. These two have been through enough. We have been through enough.
All right, and ZSRBot actually does have a bet for the GT Big Key. So exclamation mark bet 1 through 22. And yes, Slowpoke has done AGA. Both of our runners have cleared Castle Tower.
Yeah, this will be the last for everybody. We're going to be doing Ganon's Tower for the final dungeon. You get to drop right into Ganon afterward.
All right, and that is Trinex down for treesapthief. Still does have a go mode Swamp Palace to go.
Yeah, Chet was asking if Slowpoke had already done AGA 1. Yes, AGA 1 is cleared. That sword that we got off Lumberjack was behind AGA 1. Both runners decided to go for that sword as soon as it was reasonably available. You know, for a while, actually, it ended up being an extra sword in the hands of treesapthief. But Slowpoke decided once he had 2 swords, he needed to go get that temper just to make darn sure that the rest of the game was smooth sailing. And then the logic had other ideas.
The main differentiator has been, really especially early on, was Slowpoke getting the sword out of Eastern and being able to kind of do that. And that is, we're at least going to see Stalfos room here. Item number 1, by the way, being on that torch. That torch will not be the answer, but it does count towards the trackers.
Oh my god, they do exist.
Oh my goodness, we have, at the 1 hour 56 minute mark, we have our first shield.
You're like, what is he talking about? Like, it's a better defense in front of you. I can't believe it. That is a small key to Ice Palace. We don't need that for anything. Now, I'm a little bit nervous now. But only a little. I think we're okay to key for key here on the right side. We're going to go hard left.
Yeah, so treesapthief, by the way, is going to go ahead and do more checks. Still looking for a couple GT small keys, it looks like.
As long as these two both remember GT Big Key is going to be in GT. Because that is a quirk of this mode and of Inverosia. Chat, I'm going to ask you to give me what Slowpoke's learn set is at the end of this race, because he definitely knows more than 4 moves at this point.
8, 9, 10 arrows, 11. We continue.
Imagine Randomizer Room being just like vanilla, a whole bunch of nothing.
Yeah, I think treesapthief is not thinking like they're in go mode. Might be just looking for one more small key. Or still looking for the GT Big Key.
Or they're looking for red mail? I don't know. I mean, I'm really just kind of confused.
All right, and we do have our 17th heart up there. So we're going to get some Ice Harmless Knights with silvers. Yeah, getting those very early silvers, honestly, was very, very nice.
Nope. And there it is! It's sitting in its own room, but one back to the right of where it normally would be.
All right, so that is number 15. All right, but yeah, we've got, we're about to start the climb here. After check number 15. Congratulations to Morgai, who was closest with 14. Did not go over.
Without going over Price is Right rules. Unfortunately, Morgai, you do not win both showcases. However, you can win any number of randomizer seeds just by going to ALttPR.com. You can play your own.
To learn more about Randomizer, especially for some of the newer folks who might be popping in and just thinking, why do we have a Slowpoke on the screen? This isn't Pokemon, except maybe it is. All right, and that is the final, second to final dungeon for treesapthief, after which treesap will go ahead and make his way up towards Ganon's Tower. But routing, this is one route where we're trying to put off the Ice Harmless Knights as much as possible will actually be a little bit of a detriment. So doing, so yeah, like trying to do like Hope Room, Compass Chest into Stalfos, that's going to be a little bit of an issue routing-wise this time.
Yeah, if you do end up going Hope right and then down left, that ends up being a 21 key for you, which is a little bit slower than a 15.
And yeah, I don't think treesapthief thinks he's in go mode.
What? Where are we going? Oh boy, oh boy.
Or, okay, it's just a different route. Okay, it's just a little different of a route. Okay. Whew, okay. We're good. We're good. Meanwhile, Slowpoke, onto the clockwork room here, where just gotta light the torches.
And up to the second torch room. Plenty of magic. Now, Slowpoke has to remember to dispatch this mini Helma to get the small key. Okay, I was wondering if he'd heard me.
Yep, there we go. And there we go. All right, we are good to clear the rest of the game.
Yeah, and at this point, the Fad Keys part of this seed is over. All that's really left as soon as treesapthief finds their big key is just that climb going up through the whole mess here.
All right, and that is Moldorm down. And yeah, this is going to be Hope Room.
Yeah, Hope hard left by both runners is very interesting. Now the question is, what kind of patterns are we going to see from Aghanim tonight?
Let's see. Oh, that's a good one for Aghanim for that first one. That's a very nice double, though. This is a little bit friendlier of a setup.
Just a little bit. And just like that, we are done with the Aghanim fight. And it's just a stop in the pyramid to knock down the big pig.
right. Ganon about to share his words of wisdom here. I'm your father's brother's nephew's roommate, and
what does that make us? What does that make us? Slightly ahead of what you guys are seeing on the screen.
All right, and yep, we've got a fight between Slowpoke versus Embor. Here we go.
Yeah, this is not somewhere you want to use Hydro. It is somewhere you want to use Hydro Pump. It's not somewhere you want to use Flamethrower.
Right.
Oh, you're going to need Flamethrower to keep that torch lit, though. So as we go through the fastest one cycle, Phase 1, Phase 2 that you could possibly have, courtesy of that gold sword, you have treesapthief making their way down to the Ice Armos, which will make that relatively easy as well. Ganon, will you stop warping around, please? Okay, I think he gets the message.
Yeah, Ganon used teleport. Ganon used teleport. All right, and there is Silver's one true weakness. A little bit of an awkward spot there for... Ooh, very well done. All right, this is only going to be a single there, but this will at least be pretty quick for Slowpoke. And that's 4 shots in the pig. Get your G's in chat as Slowpoke is about to cross the finish line and win this race and make things really interesting for Group U.
Alrighty, as you see in chat, we're seeing a 2:05:18 posted by Slowpoke, keeping our bracket hopes alive. My goodness. Again, chat, this was a must-win game for Slowpoke. If he wins his other game later this week against Ridley Dragon, these two will face off again in a race-off. Face-off in a race-off.
Yep, so this is a really intriguing group here. And congratulations to Slowpoke. Meanwhile, treesapthief is making his way up Ganon's tower. And we're working on getting Slowpoke in just a couple minutes here. And speaking of, we are joined in the booth with Slowpoke. GG.
Thank you, GG's everybody.
GG. That was a heck of a call to go straight to Bombos for that cane.
It was, I think, or if I'm not mistaken, I was just like trying to just take care of those mirror spots right off the bat. Because like, all right, let's go ahead and just go to Bombos. We'll take care of 45 after that, and go to Graveyard Ledge. Oh wait, never mind. There's a cane.
Yep, so I think you missed out on a 300 rupees, I think, on K45, by the way.
Good to know.
And I believe it was a compass in Graveyard Ledge, so not the worst thing that could have happened. Although the seed definitely said, hey, go do some stuff that I want you to do and not what you want to do for a good chunk of the mid-game there.
Yeah, and we did lose Slowpoke just temporarily real quick. We'll work on getting him back in.
Uh-oh.
And we're back.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I had a little derp there, but I did hear a compass in Graveyard Ledge.
Yeah, I was making a remark on how this game, this particular seed just opened up with all kinds of goodies and then said, hey, instead of doing what you want to do for a while, you're going to do what I want you to do.
Like, grab that sword in Eastern.
Oh my god. Did the sword to go to Meyer to realize that, well, there's your Eastern big key, but also then, you know, if you hadn't read Pedestal, the writing was on the wall at that point. It was probably something on Pedestal.
Yeah, I was, and especially it's like, all right, what do we need for Pedestal? Oh, cane. Okay. Oh, okay, nothing can be GT. That's a good sign. And there's my cane. Okay, let's just read the Pedestal, see what we get. Oh, There's our flippers. Okay then.
Right.
Take the flippers, go into Ice Palace, get the other sword, you're pod big. And then you're down to where in the world is the Turtle Rock Big Key and the Swamp Small? And you showed some good, keen memory and good, keen observation by going up to Zora, seeing the Big Key on the ledge, it being the only one we did not know of at the time, I believe.
Yeah, I was the only one that, the only Big Key not marked on my my tracker, and if you saw me walking down the entire time, I have a little post-it note that I keep every single note on. It's like, all right, here's what's still available. Here's what we can do. Let's make sure we remember there's a Big Key on Zora's ledge.
And that did end up being a difference. treesapthief had not checked the Zora area, or did Waterfall, but not Zora Ledge or Zora until the very end.
Oh.
He didn't have the money for Zora, so he ended up not even peeking at the ledge, he just left.
That makes sense.
That is a nice
unfortunately-
3-cycle Aga from treesapthief as he's about to drop into his Ganon fight here on our restream. Go on.
Honestly, I can't remember what I was thinking. What I was about to say. My bad.
I'm sorry.
I mean, it's all good. It's all good. It's tomorrow for me.
So how do you feel getting this one off your back? You've still got one more game to play, and it's possibly going to give you another game to play.
Just felt good to just have a seed that was, for the most part, pretty generous. I mean, we got Silver super early, relatively early Dark World access to apparently Gold Sword before EGT, or bottle percent was accepted, and just a lot of things just worked. Didn't have to worry about, oh, we have to find this small key in GT, the small key for Swamp here. Don't have to worry about this. Although I did have to give myself a panic attack by accidentally getting a lava chest.
Oh my god, we saw that and we were just like, oh no, now, like, luckily there's not much left in the game, so it's probably gonna be here, but what if it's like, Hera Small, Swamp Small? Swamp Small on Laser Bridge would have been awful if you didn't see another key after that, because then you're having to dig out Swamp looking for a key and can't save the portal. And you couldn't save it anyway, because you both decided to go get your sword off a lumberjack.
Yep, yeah, that was me, just like, even beforehand, it's like, alright, don't go lava chest, don't go lava chest, don't go lava chest. Alright, got the big heart at the lava. Oh no. Luckily got super bailed out there and Crystal Roller.
Yeah, Crystal Roller paying out, and then getting the early small key. The rest of Laser Bridge, by the way, was nothing to write home about. There was red mail right by in the back of Swamp, by the way.
Good to know.
But get your GGs in chat, as treesapthief has taken down Ganon and is about to cross the bridge. And well done. That is a finish time of 2 hours, 11 minutes, and 53 seconds.
Yeah, GG to treesapthief. That is their last game in this group stage, so now that all that he can do is sit back and wait for the result of Slowpoke and Ridley Dragon, which I believe is on the schedule.
Yeah, it should be on the schedule Wednesday night, 9:30 Eastern Time. PM.
Yeah, that one's going to be a good one. It does look like treesapthief does not have a mic set up, so it doesn't look like we'll be joining us in the booth. But yeah, an excellently run race by both of you. Honestly, that was the first time I think I've seen you use the B that much. So like early on.
Hey, just take what the game gives me. Like, alright, I can either try hammering these Moldorms, or no, we have a B. Alright, let's go in Easter Palace. You know, we could just... No, we'll just release a B here. Try to get rid of some of these Stalfos, try to get rid of those tentacle monsters. Yep,
and it all worked out, you know. But But yeah, that was. Yeah, I think some of the it was just an interesting seed overall, and even if it weren't Fad Keys, it was still going to be in Oops All Dungeons, so especially with that sword.
I was going to ask, what possessed you to go over to the eastern area as early as you did?
I think I want to say I just wanted to get some information from Sassy to figure out where the green pendant is. I want to say I pretty much only just had a front of desert to do at that point. And I know I skip out on Dam, but that's a skip I always make to just try to get in with the Agena check. But I think I just went over each side, get some checks in, see what I can get some information, because we'll probably have to double dip the Eastern anyway.
So, how would you feel if we told you you had at least half an hour, if not much longer, of sword advantage?
Huh.
As in, your sword 1 was not gotten by treesapthief for a while.
Oh. Huh. Well,
Oh, here's a site.
geez.
So, Lady Laura Linda, our tracker, does keep a little chart on the side, and she's showing us that her chart that she uses to track where everything was, every spot on that tracker is filled up. You guys showed us everything.
Yeah, yes. I know. I think I only had like mirror checks on my side, plus bottom of Laser Bridge, and then all of GT. But yeah, I can see that, especially for this mode.
It's one of those full clear kind of modes where routing and execution is key, and I don't mean that to be a pun.
Yes, you did.
Yes,
No, I didn't.
Take credit.
You would have thrown a tomato at me either way. Yeah, that was kind of the big thing for a while, was you had a sword treesapthief didn't. He eventually had to go get that sword to go into Mire. Because Mire's where the game wanted you to go. Gives you the medallion, gives you 3 keys, says, here, go in, go get your mirror. And of course, mirror is probably the last thing you wanted to find in Mire.
That was okay with that. I was like, all right, let's go get. Yeah, I was like, all right, let's go at least get Checkerboard Cave and stuff like that, and do all the mirror checks. And where was this? I can't remember where the Master Sword was.
So your second sword was, oh boy,
Checkerboard.
it was, you got the sword
That's
at
right.
Checkerboard. That was actually treesapthief's tempered sword. He had decided to climb up the tower before going into Mire, just to have that extra little firepower before fighting Moth too, which worked out a little bit, made the Moth fight a little easier, but still not the tempered sword that you see NMG players run with. And then you kind of traded places. He was taking care of things you'd already done, and you were going up the tower. So we thought at one point that there was going to be a sword disparity for most of the seed, and then you proved us all wrong.
And what can I say? I do things weird sometimes. Sometimes. It's one of those seeds where things just work. I don't know how. They shouldn't work, but they do.
If you ask me, that sounds like Randomizer.
Pretty much. All right, so I think that'll pretty much wrap it up for us. I'll also appreciate the bird toss. It looks like your race room perfect bird toss also described what you both did as well. Very much appreciated.
All right. Any last words before I wrap this up?
I think for my end, first of all, thank you so much for the restream comms, tracker, restreamer, everyone just watching. Thank you so much. I hope everyone has a great night, and hopefully everyone's been enjoying the Challenge Cup so far.
Heck yeah, couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you so much to Slowpoke and treesapthief for putting on the awesome race for us. And thank you to Sorcerer Finch and Zeruvian for commentating and Lady Laura Linda for tracking. I put everybody's links in the chat, so please give everyone a follow. Coming up on ZSR tomorrow at 7:40 p.m. Eastern, we have another Challenge Cup race between Darkened Sky and Mr. Angry Pants. That's going to be on ZSR 2. At 8:30 p.m. Eastern, we have the Grand Finals Game 2 between Mariah and Jay Copa for the Zelda 2 Randomizer Max Randall Tournament. And at 9:10 Eastern, we have another Challenge Cup match here between Kaysden and Roxas 232. So quite a few things in the evening tomorrow. Hope you find something you all want to watch. And with that, we're going to go and sign off here. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Hope you had a wonderful time and have a fantastic rest of your night. Bye!